Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on this show. I'm going to do a full recap for the NFL. Recap 3 games over Week 11. The Eagles-Commanders, which was on a Thursday. And then the Ravens-Steelers and the Bills-Chiefs. Done those 3 separate recaps. And I want to do like a full recap here. And also for college football, there's some games I wanted to talk about from that week, from Week 12. College football. But we'll start with Week 11 here. With the NFL, the other games some games that I thought were interesting. I mean, also you had some games like the Dolphins beat the Raiders. The Dolphins could get back into contention maybe. They have kind of an easy schedule. Tua's back playing well. Saints beat the Browns. The Browns continue their miserable season. But the Colts, man, I was kind of interested to see how Anthony Richardson would do in his first game back after getting benched. I thought he played pretty well, man, against struggling Jets defense, man. We have to have a conversation about Aaron Rodgers, man. He just hasn't been great. I mean, like 22-29, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't know about this team, man. After a year-long wait to see Aaron Rodgers return, they just haven't played well. I mean, he played okay, but not great. I think the story of the game was just Anthony Richardson. 3 total touchdowns. He was 20 of 30, 272, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, had 2 rushing touchdowns, outplayed Aaron Rodgers. And the Jets are 1-5 since they fired Robert Saleh, and their defense has looked worse. He was a defensive-minded coach. They got rid of him as a scapegoat for Aaron Rodgers. And now their defense is absolute trash. And Anthony Richardson, who really struggled this year, really lit up this Jets defense. So maybe they're going to go roll with Anthony Richardson going forward. I think it's the best thing to do. See what you can do this rest of this season with him. And if he continues to play well like he did, he's going to be your guy. Possibly. And they were down 24-16, and he showed some good poise in that 4th quarter. So I really like what I saw. He had a really good game. A huge improvement. Only 10% of his passes were off target, which is a huge improvement to where it was before. And he was really the reason they won this game, because Jonathan Taylor really struggled to run the ball. Anthony Richardson is the reason they won this game. And they sacked Aaron Rodgers 3 times. Jets' offensive line still isn't good. Their defense is just bad. The Jets are now 3-8. This team is bad, and they're 1-5 since firing Robert Saleh. Like I said, he was the scapegoat. He got fired because Rodgers didn't like him. That Rodgers trade's gonna be one of the biggest failures in the sport. I feel like Rodgers is the problem, and that move did not bring new energy to the team like Woody Johnson thought it would. So I had to talk about Aaron Rodgers there. The Packers beat the Bears, a crushing defeat for the Chicago Bears. First game since they fired Matt Waldron, the offensive coordinator. Caleb Williams finally had a solid game, man. 23 of 31, 231 yards. Also had 9 runs for 70 yards. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns from the running backs, 1 from Swift, 1 from Roschon Johnson. And Caleb Williams finally played somewhat good. He had a really struggling last few weeks, and they have a chance to win the game. They get down there. Caleb Williams gets them down there and gets the field goal blocked. I guess if there's any positives, Caleb Williams looked good with the new offensive coordinator. I thought done a good job for this team. Got 391 total yards. Odunze and DJ Moore, 6 catches and 7 catches, 65, 62 yards. Kmet 42 yards. Allen 41 yards. Their top 4 targets. They spread the football out a lot, make big plays. late in this game. They converted a lot of fourth downs in this game. They converted all 3 of them. I think they converted one on that last drive to even try and get near field goal range. And it gets blocked. I know the coach has turned it in like, the leverage. It wouldn't have mattered. He was going to get blocked anyways. That just to me seems like a coach just salty and turning in a play. It's not going to matter. It's not going to change the result of the football game. You dropped to 4-6. The Bears got their hopes up after getting that 4-2 record. And then the Washington game's where it went downhill. Give up that Hail Mary. They get blown out against the Cardinals and the Patriots. And then a heartbreaker against the Packers. They should have won that Commanders game and should have won this Packers game. But instead they lose. And Jordan Love had 2 total touchdowns. Josh Jacobs had 1. Christian Watson had his best game of the year. 4 catches, 150 yards. Really freaking dominated the Bears. In 20-19, and they improved to 7-3. And the Bears dropped to 4-6, and there's 2 games they should have won. That Commanders game and then this game. The Lions destroyed the Jaguars 52-6. Jared Goff put up 412 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Lions are 9-1. They're the best. I'd say they're the best team in the NFC right now. It's not just because they blocked the Jaguars. They're just. I just think they're the best team overall. The Rams beat the Patriots to get to 5-5. I thought a good game from Drake May, 30-40 with 2 touchdowns. Drake May's been pretty good for this Patriots team, leading this offense. They've looked a lot better offensively with him than Jacoby Brissett. Who would have thought? But the Rams improved to 5-5. They got a good game from Matt Stafford with 4 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua back healthy really helped this offense. The Seahawks beat the 49ers in a big win for them. Geno Smith gets the game-winning drive, gets the rushing touchdown to win it. He had an okay game, 25-32, 221. Didn't have a passing touchdown, but he had that rushing touchdown, 1 interception. And they improved to 5-5 and dropped the 49ers back to 5-5. And the Rams are 5-5. Oh my lord. This division is just mid. Smith and Jigba had a really good game. 110 yards on 10 catches. DK Metcalf, 7 catches and 70 yards. He finally had a good game against San Francisco. I thought their defense played pretty well overall. They held Brock Purdy to 159 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He had a rushing touchdown. McCaffrey had 79 yards on 19 carries. Juwan Jennings, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. But besides that, nobody else really did much in the receiving game. Seahawks defense really showed up. The Broncos beat the Falcons 30-6. Bo Nix, I think, has been the best rookie quarterback out of this draft class. He had 4 touchdowns, 307 yards, 28-33. Bo Nix, I think, has been the best quarterback out of this rookie class. At the start of the season, he kind of struggled with the interceptions his first 2 games. He threw 4 interceptions in his first 2 games, but since then, he's only thrown 2 interceptions and 1, 3, 5, 8, I think 14 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. He's been really freaking good, man. The Broncos defense showed up in this game. They sacked the Falcons 4 or 5 times, got an interception, and they're back to 6-5. The Falcons have looked really bad these last 2 weeks. And the Chargers, man, beat the Bengals. They were up 27-6 in this game. The Bengals rallied back to tie this game 27-27. McPherson misses 2 field goals. J.J. Dobbins gets a touchdown to win it. They can't get the Hail Mary. The Bengals ain't going to make the playoffs, man. It's a shame. Joe Burrow's having an MVP-type season, but the defense has let him down this year. And Evan McPherson's lost him at least 3 games. This game, the Chiefs game, he missed a field goal in that game. This game he missed 2 field goals. He got paid and has been terrible. But you gotta give credit to the Chargers. I mean, they hung on. They really shouldn't have been that close. But hey, a win's a win. A 1 is a 1. And a loss is a loss. But yeah, those are some of the other games I wanted to go over. from week 11 of the NFL. So let's get to some games from college football over the week. I mean, I only talked about Tennessee and Georgia. It was the only recap I did. Colorado beat Utah 49-24, put up 49 points against probably the best defense in that conference. They were the number 1 ranked defense, I think. Colorado controls their own destiny, man. Their next 2 games should be wins, and they can win the Big 12. Honestly, they can win that Big 12 championship. Clemson beat Pittsburgh. Cade Klubnik ran a 55-yarder to win it. Clemson looked, for a few weeks, looked like that playoff team. Then they lose to Louisville and barely beat Pitt. Texas beat Arkansas 20-10. Kind of struggled, honestly. Their defense really won this game for them. Then they got a touchdown to pretty much clinch it. Ohio State destroyed Northwestern 31-7. Ohio State has a big game coming up against Indiana this weekend. Tulane beats Navy 35-0, and they improved to a 9-2 record. Tulane, who hopefully Kentucky Wildcats can get John Sumrall next season. Alabama beat Mercer 52-7. Oh yeah, Mercer was 9-1 in that game because they're an FCS team. They play other FCS teams. Alabama's playing Mercer in week 12. Illinois destroys Michigan State 38-16. SMU beat Boston College 38-28. Boston College put up a valiant effort with a new quarterback after Thomas Castellanos got benched and then he quit. But SMU with another win, they improved to 9-1. I want to see SMU make the playoffs, man. Their offense is really exciting, really exciting to watch. And it would be a good underdog story. Penn State destroyed Purdue 49-10. It's a big game. It's not a big game, so we knew they were going to win it. Notre Dame beat Virginia 35-14 after having a big second quarter. South Carolina beat Missouri 34-30. They improved to number 19 in the rankings. Missouri come all the way back. They got a touchdown 4th and I think 3 with Luther Burden. Take the lead. South Carolina drives right down the field. They couldn't tackle Raheem Sanders. He gets a touchdown to win the game. Arizona State destroyed Kansas. They destroyed him through the first about 2.5 quarters. Kansas State tried to make it interesting, but Arizona State ended up winning 24-14. They're ranked, and they have a big matchup with BYU, who we'll talk about in a moment. Boise State beat San Jose State. Struggled through the first 1.5 quarters, but then they eventually got rolling offensively. Once they got rolling, they scored 14 points in the second, third, and fourth quarters. San Jose State couldn't stop them. Oregon hold on to beat Wisconsin 16-13. I mean, I don't really put too much stock in this game. Oregon had been blowing out a lot of opponents lately. Sometimes you're going to have a struggle game. It happens. I mean, that fake field goal could have cost them the game. Well, that was stupid, but sometimes you have a struggle game. It happens. Texas A&M beat New Mexico State 38-3. Iowa State beat Cincinnati 34-17. New Mexico beat Washington State 38-35. They come back in the second half, outscored them 24-7. Embarrassing for Washington State. And there goes any playoff hope for the Washington State Cougars. UNLV beat San Diego State 41-20. They're now 8-2 in the top 25, having a good year. This game I want to talk about here. Kansas beats BYU 17-13. BYU's been sneaking out a lot of wins, and you play a lot of these close games, you're going to lose one of them eventually. But this is just a devastating loss, man. They lost to a 3-win Kansas team. I get they've been playing better lately because they beat Iowa State, and now they beat BYU. I don't think they're going to beat Colorado, though. Colorado is just, I think, it's the best team in the Big 12. But, man, you can't lose a game like this to a 3-win team. And people they might be a fraud team, man. I mean, they struggle to beat Utah, who's not really that good. So, yeah, Kansas might be better now than they were to start the year, but, I mean, you can't lose a game to a 3-win team. At this point of the year, they were the number 6 team. You can't lose a game like that to a 3-win team. If it's a ranked team, okay, I understand. But if you lose to an unranked team, you're just not going to get it. They might not get in the playoffs. That's all I say. Peace.